Each year, thousands of visitors come to the woods of Clackamas County to enjoy a wide variety of outdoor activities. Unfortunately, each year, circumstances put people in danger of getting lost in the wilderness, vulnerable to the elements. When this happens, the Clackamas County Sheriff's Department is called in to determine what the situation is, what dangers are present, and how much time they have to react.
It's 5-0. We could area so far.
Once it's been established that someone is lost or missing, they have a host of resources they can call upon, groups with specialized skills that can aid in the efficient, swift location of missing people, or in a worst-case scenario, in the recovery of a body.
It's really a very good relationship between ourselves and the searchers that are out there, and I firmly believe, if it weren't for the volunteers, our search and rescue program in Clackamas County, I don't think would be as successful as it is, because they really do a lot of the legwork.
One of these groups is called NORSAR, or North Oregon Regional Search and Rescue. This group specializes in using dogs to pinpoint human smell and lead searchers to missing people. Different from, say, bloodhounds that can follow a specific human smell, NORSAR dogs locate any human smell and help searchers clear large patches of land of any persons that may be within them, helping to dramatically narrow search areas and helping directly find missing persons.
This is Vaquero.
This is my partner, Andy.
This is Joe.
He's a 4.5-year-old male Beauceron.
He's a purebred Labrador Retriever.
We've been together for 2.5 years. He was born and raised to do search and rescue work.
After a brief period of time in law enforcement, I wanted to kind of find an opportunity to serve my community in that capacity and work with dogs, and this fantastic opportunity just fell into my lap.
Went looking for working dog opportunities and started contacting search and rescue because Joe and I were avid hikers. He would spend a lot of time in the woods for me. Contacted a search group and discovered that it would be a really good fit for he and I, and the rest is history.
It is a huge commitment to become a search and rescue volunteer. It's a huge amount of time, but it's one of those things that gives back as much as it requires that you give.
All the time and energy that I've invested into training him and working him and seeing it being used for something really, I think, is very important, and it's just tremendously rewarding.
You don't get very many opportunities to engage with a dog in a partnership at this high of a level when it means something. It's important work. That is pretty much all the payback we need right there.
He was slated to be an avalanche dog in the French Alps, and he wound up, his handler had a family medical problem, and so he got shipped over to me.
He is a trailing dog, meaning that he is scent specific, and his work mainly will be looking for people who walk away from Alzheimer's facilities or children who wander away from parks.
He's designed to be used in an open wilderness area where there are few people, and he's looking for any human scent in that area.
Joe prefers to stay out in front of me when we work, probably about 40 to 50 yards. He ranges out in front and he sweeps back and forward in front of me, searching for scent.
He in particular is very determined to get to the end. He wants to make that find. He wants to please myself. He wants to please himself.
My job is to stay behind him and watch him. When he detects scent, he starts to move in what's referred to as the scent cone, which is that area of scent that comes off of a person's body, and that area narrows the closer you get to the individual. So when Joe hits scent, his head comes up, he becomes very excited, he starts to move toward that person, and he bounces back and forth between the edges of the scent cone in a narrowing sort of a pattern until he reaches the person.
There's potential that he would bring us to a hiker that's already out in the area, and that's fine. That's what we want to happen. We're basically clearing a large area of all the potential people.
Huge difference between having a pet and having a canine partner. The way you approach it, the commitment in your life. I don't get to just hang out on Saturdays and watch TV. He needs his exercise, we need our training.
When you train a dog, you give him a reward at the end of the search, and that's what a dog's drive is built for, is that reward at the end. But in the case of this dog, it's the search. If there were no reward at the end, he would still do it for hours and hours and hours. It's what he loves beyond everything.
At base camp, typically the Sheriff's Office SAR coordinators are collecting information about the event. They're calling out for resources that are appropriate for that event and checking them in as they arrive. At the same time, they're kind of doing a survey and getting the mapping identified, printing maps, putting together teams, creating a strategy that best utilizes the resources that they have available at that time.
We have 2 missing subjects.
We had a person who became missing and also lost a family member that went looking for that person.
Named Rob Cruikshank. It's his brother-in-law, I believe. He showed up this morning, found the truck, went into the field.
It was a great mock scenario because it did so well reflect what a real search looks like. There's a little bit of chaos, there's a lot of people around, it's being set up at the same time that they're trying to get us out in the field.
You're all set. Did you mark base?
No, I will.
It enabled us to get that same excitement level. When we become excited about a search and we have a sense of immediacy, the dogs pick up on that and it amplifies their drive for search.
He wants to go. He's ready.
Dog teams, bike team 1 and 2 will be heading out shortly. We're heading right out, up the trail, up the Nasty Hill, and then we're all going to be heading south. I think you already know our assignments, but we're heading out for 2 minutes, okay?
All right, thanks a lot. Okay, so they're working the trails to the south. We're going to continue north. At least that's the plan at this point. It can always be changed.
Robert Miller, he's despondent over some problems with his wife. He always carries a firearm, likes to shoot little animals, things like that. So use caution when you're talking to him.
And of course, we're a canine team, so we have animals with us. We're concerned about their safety, as well as our own and our members' safety. Do you have any safety concerns?
I wouldn't go, and I wouldn't go.
In a real search, we wouldn't
request
be
a deputy.
going.
Right,
Either
exactly.
we wouldn't be going, we would request a deputy.
Yeah.
Well, if this is a mock SAR,
Right.
request a deputy.
Right. Well, I will. Yeah. Okay. All right. A despondent with a gun.
Yeah, it's a little, especially a despondent with a gun that shoots little
Little
animals.
thing.
I'm bringing a little animal with me.
Yeah, that's true. Right. They assured us, they kind of modified the scenario while we were there to make sure that we were comfortable deploying with who we had, because I didn't think that they were going to deploy deputies with us. So we don't go into situations that we don't feel are safe. That's pretty much standard operating procedure.
So if I send the bicycles right now and 15 minutes, 20 minutes later, you guys are in the field.
We can certainly work that, yeah.
Okay, then that's what we'll do.
It was a great start. When we got out, the coordination of the teams that were going out with us was terrific. We knew where other teams were going to be working, so that we knew that Joe might actually pick up their scent as opposed to the scent of our subject. So just at the outset, as we were all scattering, it was all those things getting an opportunity to practice. It was terrific.
I had Sonia and Alan were on my team that day. I believe Alan was doing most of the radio, and I think Sonia was doing navigation that day.
Teammate to base. We're leaving base camp.
And when we reach a fork in the road, we're going to divide and send a faster, hasty team up further north, while the other team remains to search that area more thoroughly.
Hey, Lonnie. Okay. Yeah. You can actually just continue on working the path that we were going to go, and then we can just take your path, since we're already at the V, and it's kind of a waste of time for you to even actually come back the way you came.
Gotcha. Teammate to base. We are starting our search area now.
Copy at 10:45.
Can you mark the time, somebody?
I did.
Awesome. Are you ready? Are you ready? You ready? Let's go get him. Are we gonna get Bob? We gonna get Bob? Where's he at? Where's he at? Ready? Go find. Is his name Bob?
Yes.
Was it Bob or Robert? It was Robert Miller is how it was.
Rob! And if the other one wants to watch up the hill.
Yeah, actually.
Rob! Okay, then.
Base is Team 10. We are entering the field.
Step by step,
Rob!
calling out the names of the missing, the search begins.
Let's go. Go get Rob.
This can be like looking for a needle in a haystack, but the keen nose of the dogs help lead groups to a more effective search.
Where's he at? Where's he at?
I don't see anything. Did you hear a gunshot?
Yeah, go ahead and report it to base.
Nate, go ahead.
We heard a gunshot.
Yes, call you to report a gunshot.
We heard a gunshot. I will give you UTMs in just a moment.
Yes.
Our location is 1005 40043.
Can I confirm that northing is 4987788?
That is correct.
Go ahead, please. Promiscuous shooting going on up there from what I understand. Do you feel comfortable continuing? Stop from where we're at. I just want to be sure everyone was aware. Okay. Teammate, the same. Do you feel comfortable continuing?
Affirmative. Yes. Affirmative.
Mark can go on, or do you want me to follow it out?
I think we're ready.
Okay. Ready? Go find Bob! Sometimes when you're looking at how the dog's behaving, you do what you say, read the dog. We're reading the dog to determine, is this likely another search team? Should we pursue or investigate this? And we just made those adjustments as quickly as we could. Go get it! Nope, nothing there. All right, we'll go check the meadow. Let's go get him. Let's go get him. Go ahead, get up. Good boy. Bob! We've essentially covered our search area, at least perimeter-wise. We were saving the internal pass for our return trip. So now we're going to radio base camp, let them know where we're at, and make sure that that still fits in their objectives. Because since we're here, we can go further north to another area if they want to have us cover something else.
We've reached the northern boundary of our search area at the conjunction of Rim Trail and Looney's Trail. Would you like us to continue northward or return to base?
Another team found one of the two missing subjects. They radioed that in.
Subject name is Rob Critchenk.
That's the first guy.
Our base, Team 13. The man has a hurt left knee. It doesn't look as if anything is bleeding or broken, but he said he cannot walk out alone.
I copied, so do you need a medical team to come in, and do you need a wheeled gurney?
Affirmative, he does not seem like he can walk right now.
Anybody need water or All right, use your back, use your legs, not your back.
With only minor injuries, the medical extraction team gingerly picks up Robert Critchenk and descends down the mountain where an ambulance is standing by.
How'd that feel?
Level it out, level it out.
Wait a minute, we got a lot of gap here.
The feet slightly lower than the head.
Most of this is going to be actually
Downhill.
from this point forward, so you probably want to
Wait, so you guys are going to go this way, nice and slow. Keeping your feet low.
The job isn't over. There is still one more missing person. Groups reorganize and continue.
987-678.
Copy. We'll be en route.
I think Kelly and Roy are down south
Okay.
here as well, so I think that drives pretty well.
Okay. Are you okay with us going back to that fork? We'll go left on
Totally.
Looney, and then we'll come up to this line here, whatever boundary that is.
Where we were at is part of that rim trail. Okay. So I recommend, so we don't screw the scent up for the dogs, and since you guys are on foot, that you retrace those steps but follow rim trail all the way back down.
Before the group can get back into the field, good news comes again.
And Team 12, this is base. Do you copy? Condition of the subject, please. Say again. This is our base. We are not at the subject. We are hearing the voice. I copy.
Sounds like they've got audio on the subject. That's awesome. Our second team actually just located the second subject, and they're going to be evacuating him from the field. So all the teams have now been called to return to base camp.
Kelly Slocum and her husband Roy are the team that make the find. Kelly gives us an account of what happened.
As we went back to our original point to get back into our original search pattern, Joe began to react to scent.
He's in a scent cone, and he's doing the don't.
And he began to pull us closer and closer to the ridge.
But the closer he gets to the ridge, all of a sudden it's like, okay, all done. So I looked at them and I said, he's on the ridgetop.
And as we got closer and closer and began calling out the subject's name, Joe was giving every indication that there was a lot of scent.
And just as we get to the edge of the ravine, we're deciding whether or not we're going to go down in there, just for grins, because Joe's staring across the ravine. I went, Robert! And he goes, what? Oh my God.
It's always a confirmation that your training works, that, in the amazing abilities of these dogs. It's a high you can't even describe.
Oh, this is a great day for North Star to be able to have made both of the finds. So it worked out really well for our teams, and we're just happy to have those successes today. So.
The mock scenario just took a few hours to complete, but it provides valuable practice and experience for Norsar. Next time they come out to the woods, the situation won't be a drill. The consequences very real. And real people will rely on Norsar to find them before time runs out.
It's a bit of a stressor. It's one of those where you understand that mistakes can have consequences that are ultimate.
Is it stressful? Absolutely. But is it something that you do because you have a passion for it? Absolutely. And I'll keep doing it as long as I have that passion, and I'm sure everybody out here shares that same passion.
We think a lot about how the individual in the field is feeling, and that drives us. That's very much a motivator for movement.
And the true feeling of help is when you can go out, find somebody that was lost or that was hurt, bring them out to safety, and you can go, okay, I've done a good deed today.
Good job, everybody. It's a great search. It was a great search.